Welcome back to climatehope.us. We're collecting 100 stories of joy, hope, and climate action. I have the pleasure today of meeting with my friend and colleague, Dean of the College of Ethnic Studies, Amy Tsuyoshi, Provost Select of San Francisco State University.
Hi, Alma. Thanks for having me. So I'm a historian by training. I have a PhD in history. My specialties are in sexuality studies as well as ethnic studies. And I just think that climate justice is so crucial for BIPOC communities as well as queer communities. And so I'm here today to talk about hope as well as how we should feel inspired to fight for the climate as we fight for our communities.
Great. And as a friendly reminder, BIPOC means?
Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
So tell us a little bit about one of your greatest joys and how you relate it to climate action.
Sure. So for most of my life, the joy for me was really about recycling. I'm almost a little bit of a fascist with recycling, and I would always have to tell the folks that I was dating that I'm a hardcore recycler, and I hope that's not going to break the relationship. I love to compost as well. In addition to recycling, I don't want to put food into the garbage because of the methane gases it releases. I love to propagate succulents and plants and give them away on Nextdoor as well. But most recently during COVID, I found true joy in upcycling discarded jeans. So I've been taking jeans that people basically don't want anymore and turning them into coin purses, tote bags, aprons, and placemats. And I've been calling it Nikkei jeans on Instagram. And this is to fight how much the clothing industry, the fashion industry throws away clothes. And it ends up in landfill in Latin America, Africa, as well as Asia.
Yeah, I don't think people realize, a lot of people think that if they give away their clothes, that it actually gets reused or recycled. But I don't think a lot of people realize that most of it ends up in landfill in the US and other parts of the world.
Absolutely. So I learned about this recently also after watching this reality show called The Hype about urban design. There's a designer there, Justin Mensinger, who takes old blankets and turns into hoodies and sells it for a lot of money because they're one of a kind, but they were just incredibly beautiful. But as I was watching the show, I also became educated about how much we already have enough clothing to clothe the world many times over, and that people don't need our clothes that we discard. And so it really struck me about how critical this thing has become. It's landfill, yes, and then once the land is filled, there's like mountains and mountains of clothes, of fast fashion, and also clothes that we've just brought to the thrift store and the thrift store can't sell, so they then discard it and send it to landfill.
Right. And then of course, if it ends up in landfill, then it ends up breaking down and releasing greenhouse gases, and it's actually one of the leading causes of greenhouse gas emissions.
The biggest joy for me when I'm making the denim accessories is when I'm on the sewing machine. I can sort of go on the sewing really fast, kind of like racing down the hill, but I don't need to worry about other cars and things like that. And so that part actually brings me a sense of freedom.
And I loved your description of it because it gives a kind of visceral sense of kind of
exhilaration.
Any final words about things for people thinking about the joy of upcycling and the joy of recycling and climate action?
It's important for universities to address these interests and concerns that students find compelling, to develop on race and climate justice, to develop undergrad certificates and other degrees. So for all of us to remember that this is a very relevant issue for the QTAPI community.
And QTAPI stands for?
Queer, Trans, Asian Pacific Islander.
Thank you for joining us at climatehope.us. We want to hear your story of joy, hope, and climate action. Come join us, follow our socials, and we'll see you soon.